Hey guys, Connor from Project Heroes, and welcome to the Brew Barons. This is a relatively new game that came out on Steam about a month ago, I think is how long it's been out, roughly. Yeah, this game came about roughly a month ago. It had been in development for... Actually, I have no idea. It'd been in development for a while. Basic premise of this game is you are a couple of young and enthusiastic entrepreneurs that decided to take on the brewing empire of a pirate gang. And you basically just fly around an archipelago and try to build your own beer making business, I guess, your own brewery. I said that very weird because I cannot speak English properly, but that's beside the point. This game is kind of right up my alley. For those who watch the War Thunder content constantly know that I am the only way I really get through those recording sessions is by getting myself inebriated. So this game was kind of just right up my alley. It actually controls a lot like War Thunder, in regards to the aircraft that you fly around, because yes, you are flying in an aircraft to deliver stuff, to deliver your beer, and on top of that, you're also flying an aircraft through wheat fields to collect wheat and stuff. We'll get a bit more into that. This is a very cartoonish kind of game, so it's actually really fun and relaxing. I've had this game for about a week now, and I have been playing it non-stop. I think I actually have something like 70 hours in the game right now. I could be wrong. I looked yesterday and I kind of immediately forgot. But on top of that, this game is only made by 3 people, plus a handful of voice actors, plus a lot of Kickstarter backers. So yeah, we have 2 developers and a single person that made the music, which was honestly astonishing to me when I realized that, which I actually realized that yesterday, because there was just a tooltip in one of the loading screens. So anyway, we are going to start a new game. I'm going to skip the tutorial and I'll kind of just explain what I'm doing as we go along. Because I don't think we'll miss any of the story. No. Alright, so we start with 2 pilots, or 2 characters, and we will be getting more characters as we go along, as we can actually see them, kind of, in this, background. We have Nigel, who is a disgraced military pilot, and Francie, who is, I actually don't remember what her backstory was. Probably not a good thing. We got 3 difficulties: easy, medium, hard. I'm gonna play on medium. Actually, I'll play on hard. Simply because this game is relatively easy to begin with, and you know what? Let's challenge myself a bit. The combat isn't that intensive in this game. But, as a veteran War Thunder player, it's relatively easy. We will call this Project Heroes, because I already have a... It would have... Project Heroes, yes, that is... I can type, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah, it was recently somebody actually pointed out to us in a comment. Of course, they also disliked the video. I'm not going to say names. Somebody had pointed out to us that we had a typo. Oh, here we go. Lore. Adley Bay.
Welcome to the sun-bathed islands of the Adley Bay. At the middle of these warm waters sits the capital, Veli, the largest among all other cities in the bay and a true sight to behold.
Really pretty.
Rich in natural resources, bountiful fishing, and favorable soil, the Adley Bay has boomed into a bustling paradise with boats coming and going with product in tow. Seaplanes and flying boats, an aeronautical invention only a few decades old and growing in popularity. Those brave enough to pilot a plane tend to do so for an occupational or economical advantage, while others, for crooked reasons. Brew pirates, backwater bootleggers.
The pirates.
They taint these lands in choking smog, plunder ingredients, and steal from the peaceful
smog.
locals to forcefully sustain their brewing monopoly.
Not
The pirates
the
operate in
smog.
secrecy from the surrounding landmass of the Marieth and Delholdin nations. Their presence expands, forcing their brews as they rove freely and unchallenged. That was until two unlikely heroes stepped forward.
Arr.
Nigel, a flunky from the Marieth Flight Academy. Undeterred, Nigel refuses to give up on his dream of becoming a career pilot. With very little flight hours on his record, he's eager to find anyone that will fly with him. And Francie,
Yeah,
the
what was
daughter
her
of a
backstory?
successful merchant in the Marieth capital. When she learned of her father's shop being ransacked by the pirates for goods used in their brewing production, she vowed to help protect the bay and return what was stolen. In this time of turmoil, our unlikely
thought it was
heroes
something
unite
about
under
a
one
wealthy
banner and
family.
one name. Henceforth, the Brew Barons came to be.
The Brew Barons. It's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, somebody had pointed out in our Ultimate Dreadnoughts, in the Shipyard series, our thumbnail had a typo in it where I accidentally spelled Dreadnoughts with an A instead of a no.
The plane looks primed and ready to take off. Maybe now
not
I can
you.
finally rack up some decent flight hours. And grow our establishment too, of course.
We can't go toe-to-toe against the entire pirate fleet,
Oh.
but we can sap them of their sails here in the bay. Let's get up there and
Oh,
start
we're going
harvesting.
back and we're doing, well, we need to go back and do the tutorial. Yeah, I did not realize that it doesn't miss story. We do miss story from that. Alright. Somebody had pointed out that we had a typo where I spelled Dreadnoughts with an A instead of a no, and we hadn't noticed that for the past year since I did the Shipyard series. Actually, when I started the Shipyard series, which was funny. There we go. Come on. Okay. Why isn't it? Project. Heroes. There we go. Alright, now that we got that silliness aside, yeah, I'm not going to edit out any of that because I am stupid. Alright, we'll just... Can I quickly... I don't know if I can quickly skip this. Okay, it might all... The blunder might.
Welcome to the sun-bathed islands of the
Can
Adley
I
Bay.
skip you? No.
At the middle of these warm waters sits the capital, Veli, the largest among all other cities in the bay and a true sight to behold.
Once again, still very
Rich
pretty.
in natural resources, bountiful fishing, and favorable soil, the Adley Bay has boomed into a bustling paradise with boats coming and going with product in tow. Seaplanes and flying boats, an aeronautical invention only a few decades old and growing in popularity. Those brave enough to pilot a plane tend to do so for an occupational or economical advantage, while others, for crooked reasons.
There.
Brew pirates, backwater bootleggers. They taint these lands in choking smog, plunder
yeah, so
ingredients, and steal from the peaceful locals to forcefully sustain their
listened to
brewing
this.
monopoly.
So,
The pirates operate in
the,
secrecy from the surrounding landmass of the Marieth and Delholdin nations.
the opening of this
Their
game, it's
presence
going to
expands,
be
forcing their
rather...
brews as they rove freely and unchallenged. That was until two unlikely heroes stepped forward. Nigel, a flunky from the Marieth Flight Academy. Undeterred, Nigel refuses to give up on his dream of becoming a career pilot. With very little flight hours on his record, he's eager to find anyone that will fly with him. And Francie, the daughter of a successful merchant in the Marieth capital. When she learned of her father's shop being ransacked by the pirates for goods used in their brewing production, she vowed to help protect the bay and return what was stolen. In this time of turmoil, our unlikely heroes unite under one banner and one name. Henceforth, the Brew Barons came to be.
Brew Barons. Oh no. There. Alright, now that we fixed our blender.
Alright, we're here. The city of Veli. The last remaining location in the bay that still shines bright with opportunity.
So we are going to be doing the tutorial because I was like, oh, I don't want to miss any of the story.
Huh. Not a bad place to start a brewing enterprise. I hope the locals won't mind us setting up shop here.
Some may be wary, but I'm sure we can sway minds and gather support if we can produce quality
Oh my
brews
God, I
people
thought that
actually like.
Thought those birds was my garage door opening for a moment.
All right then.
They
Let's
sound
do this.
so
I just wish
similar
we had
to
enough
the
money left over from the
springs.
renovations to buy a better seaplane. The salesman may have swindled us with this junker.
I don't know. I've seen some planes in War Thunder fly without wings before. And then them Russian yaks, I mean.
How about that? She floats! Sir, as I knew it would. Now before you head off, just a reminder to keep your speed low when entering or exiting any harbors.
Now, that takes all the fun out of it. I mean,
Harbors
I'm gonna
often
be
have
honest with
plenty
you.
of boats and obstacles that can cause some real harm to you and your plane if you're not careful, so just keep your throttle low and you'll do fine.
I'm more concerned about the illuminated rust holes shining up through the floor.
Oh, that reminds me
Rust.
of Old Blue.
Just think of it as weight reduction. Anyhow, remember what I said. Oh, and try not to fly too high. That engine has carburetor issues. Bye-bye now.
Oh boy. Well, let's see what this thing can do.
There,
I'll
we've
give you a
been
quick refresher on the
swindled.
plane controls and instruments.
Great, let's start.
This is our fuel gauge.
All right.
We have a
So,
full tank at the
yeah.
moment and shouldn't need to
Now,
refuel for a
Francine's
while.
Francie's
and
going to
one
explain
role of the
all
co-pilot
this.
is to give regular notifications on fuel levels. This meter represents the
So we
plane's cargo
got
capacity.
fuel, we got cargo.
Currently, we aren't carrying anything. Take note that a heavily loaded
Yeah.
plane will become
And
a bit more sluggish
There
in
is,
handling and speed.
you know, plane weight in this game does indeed
Highlighted here
matter.
is our compass, attitude indicator, speed display, and altitude display.
There is also
This
that.
is the engine throttle. Hold the throttle input to gradually raise or lower the plane speed. The
Yep.
throttle amount, the red portion of the throttle
Alright.
bar represents sustained engine
That's
damage.
damage.
Next to the throttle bar is the
Alright,
propeller
that's-
pitch toggle.
There is the
Simply
forward
put,
and reverse.
You can invert your
we
propeller
got
angle and make the plane traverse either forward and finally steering the plane. Simply point the reticle in the direction you want to go and I'm sure your flying intuition will take over.
Yeah, so that right there is the War Thunder controls.
It's coming back to me now. I recall the ignition button has to be held for several seconds in order to fire the engine up.
That's right. Hold the ignition
Yes.
button to start up the plane. Apply some throttle and follow the ring markers. They will lead us to the brewery.
There, the brewery. Alright. See. Hold I to start up this engine. Throttle up. We can only go roughly 30, I think a little over a third. So yeah, this is quite the aircraft that we have found ourselves
Really
in.
planning to fly that thing, are they?
Oh, you know we are.
Whoa, check it out. The plane looks like it's about to sink at any moment.
Ow, it's... I love everyone just
That
on
engine
the,
sounds like
on the
it's
shore
dying.
just like, oh my
I hope they
god,
get to
what
wherever
is
they're
that
going.
thing? This is how I feel like when I drive my truck down the street anywhere in my hometown. It's like everyone looks at me, who the hell owns that kind of rusty old Suburban? Who drives that junker? It'd be your friendly neighborhood dingus known as Connor. Oh, anyway. Yeah, I wonder, this plane is the equivalent of my truck in real life, covered in rust, holes, and barely running. Actually, I take that back. My truck actually runs really well for how old it is, but that's probably because I've had a lot of work done on it over
We've
the
arrived
past
at the
few
brewery.
years.
Welcome to our new base of operations.
Ah, here we are.
We own all 3 floors? Huh, not bad.
Yep, it may look a little rundown right now.
A
but
little
it's just a matter
rundown.
of time before
That's
we turn this place into
bit
a
of an
grand establishment
understatement.
that strikes down the pirates' monopoly for good. The second floor contains the actual brewery, while the third floor sits mostly empty, waiting to be converted into a bar. And last, there's our plane hangar that resides at the bottom. See this golden square? This indicates a dockable location.
Right.
This particular one will take us directly into our hangar. Always reduce your speed when maneuvering into a dockable location. Otherwise, you run the risk of overshooting and possibly crash.
Yeah,
now that we're here, let's get this plane inside
that.
and fix it up.
Yeah, so you want to be going slow enough so the location will actually grab your plane. It won't always be the biggest concern.
Welcome to the hangar. Let's jump right into the basics. From here, you can craft new planes, load or modify an existing one, and purchase new blueprints from the parts catalog. A plane will always need a pilot and co-pilot, which you can assign in the roster. Before we go any further, let's get this plane fixed up. In order to modify the plane, we must first fix up the you can do so by opening the repair tab located on the plane information panel.
Aircraft.
Once open, move the slider all the way to the right to repair all damage and accept the purchase. Now that the structural damage is repaired, we can construct some new wings. Start by opening the Modify tab.
This aircraft just straight up doesn't have wings. Gotcha. Alright, well we can put the cadet wings on, which are very maneuverable, and give, very maneuverable, greater lift, that sort of thing.
I noticed the wing construction required not only money, but also crafting materials. I'm sure we'll find more materials while venturing, so we should collect and bring them back. Anyways, I guess we're now ready to fly?
Yep. In fact, I have a small delivery errand destined to a local bar on the other side of town. We can fly over there in no time. We're going to exchange a few bottles of old cider I have for a valuable piece of plane equipment. Let's start by moving all the bottles of cider from the brewery inventory into the plane inventory.
Yep, alright. So, yeah, we pretty much just get some basic cider to start. We will
the cider is now
transfer all
loaded
that
in the
to the
plane's
plane.
cargo space. It looks like we're all set.
Right. Let's head out. You can undock from the exit menu shown here.
Alright, let's get out of here. Deliver us some cider.
Oil, flaps, rudder. All meters look good. Ready for the maiden flight?
Not really.
You betcha. You can see we now have a delivery contract located in the upper right.
I would not trust my life with this aircraft, in seeing as what it was before we got to the brewery.
The bar is located within eye range, just on the opposing side of the city.
Yes. So we can theoretically just sail our, air quotes, sail our
Take note of the gold docking
flying
square
boat
and small
over there,
pier.
or float plane
Pilots
over.
should always plan their dock entry route and exit. You'll want to avoid approaching. Instead,
So,
approach a pier.
Yeah, we want to pretty much go around and...
To help you approach at the correct angle, I've placed a series of rings. When
Thank
you're
you.
ready, take note of the ring color. I'll remind you of appropriate...
Yeah. Alright. I already know how to do all this. I am a trained professional. Definitely. Yes. That's what I'm going with. I know-ish what I am doing. So anyways, yeah, this, there's a fairly large map in this game to explore as well. Just kind of looking at it. This is our starting area. And then we have this entire area and all these different islands to go to, and each island has, a different set of ingredients. They'll explain more of this in the tutorial later. But this island is this starting island. Pirates never show up here. 3 bars and all the basics for alcoholic beverage making. Yes, the good stuff. And there's a lot of different things you can do with this game, with beverages in this game. And we'll get into that a bit more later. We'll probably just do the basics of the tutorial. I do have places to be. I do love this game and would love to play more of it on the channel, but at the same time, I'm recording this early in the morning when I actually have to probably get off here pretty quickly. We're gonna start throttling down here so we can come in for our landing. What's that red?
30% throttle now.
I already am there. That was a brilliant time to have a boat sail by. Great. Alright. Now we're gonna come in for our landing.
Reduce your speed. Slowly enter the final ring.
I'm just going to leave it at 38% here for a moment so we can actually get over there. So yeah. Alright, throttling down. And we'll just slowly glide right into their DMs.
There
There we
that
go.
didn't take long at all. See this animated symbol? This means we're in a dockable location. When the dock you can press the dock button now. The dock...
Oh. Yep, there we go. Alright, so here we are in the Thirsty Sailor.
The floor is sticky. A bit of a dive, ain't it? What self-respecting person would drink in such a place? I'm sure the bar we build will be way better.
Shh. Keep your voice down. The bar owner
Wow.
is coming this way.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to not speak when you're trying to do business.
Hey, a couple of new faces. Take a seat wherever you wish.
Hi. We're not here to drink. I overheard that your establishment was low on stock, and you're willing to exchange for some old plane equipment for more.
Ah, I see you caught my ad in the paper. Is that cider? Great. You have a deal. But be careful with that plane equipment. Hydro aviation can be pretty dangerous in the hands of a novice.
Oh, I
Wait,
don't know
what?
they're talking
We're
about.
toying with hydropropulsion? You've got to be kidding me. I don't know if I can endure such force.
Oh, it's not just hydro-propulsion. Hydro-projectiles, too.
Ah.
But relax. I'm sure we'll be fine in your capable hands. Besides, we'll need an advantage if we're going to stand up to those pirates.
I can see you two have some grand plans on the horizon. That and your unsightly plane parked outside. Come, I'll help you rig up the equipment.
Ah. So yeah, all the weaponry in
One
this
more
game is
adjustment here.
water-based.
Done.
Like
You're
a
now set up to
Pokemon
boost through
or
the sky
something,
with a torrent
I
of high-pressure
suppose.
water blasting behind you. You're also able to shoot water projectiles in front of you. Oh, geez. I lost track of time and got to get back to my bar. One last thing. If you're going to craft more brews, I might be willing to buy some more from you. But first, I'll see how my patrons like that cider. Take care.
Yeah, the cider
Well,
probably
that's
ain't that
fortunate.
great.
We have our first brew client. Hopefully next time we can deliver him something better than that basic cider.
Sounds good. There's ingredients scattered throughout the bay that we could collect and craft into all sorts of unique brews. Though first things first, we should cover the basics of plane abilities above the compass. Let's start by once we have enough. Let's start by following the rings and getting into...
Alright, so pretty much throttle up. And we now have access to the water boost ability, which will allow our aircraft to go super fast. Of course, we also need to be going 40 knots for our water to collect.
Okay, boost now. Hold down the boost ability and don't let go.
And now we can just boost. Oh yeah, going straight up into the stratosphere with this. This is a good idea. Yeah. So all the abilities and the weapons in this game take up water. So firing guns, dropping bombs, all of it's water-based. So it will eat up our
Nigel, are
reservoir.
you okay? You look a bit queasy.
Whoa, that was intense.
Nigel also gets
Just
dizzy
a bit
when you
dizzy.
boost for too long.
Flying at those speeds takes some getting used to.
Check it out. We have a view of the whole island from up here. There's small clusters of apple trees all around. We can try collecting those for our brews.
Arr.
Shoot
Ner.
the apple trees with your water projectiles to knock their fruit off and swoop in to collect them. If a tree runs out of apples, move on to another. You can switch to the water gun by
Yeah. Alright.
back down to a lower altitude when you're ready and test.
Sounds like a plan. Let's not forget to refill the water tank when necessary and stay within range of the island. Now let's collect
100 apples. Yep. Alright. That's available. God. Yeah. No. Air.
Sounds like our engine is struggling up here. That salesman definitely sold us a lemon. Let's fly down to a lower altitude before it dies completely.
Yeah. To my knowledge, that's just kind of how all the aircraft do in this game. Anything above 500 meters, your engine starts to sputter, or runs the risk of sputtering at. Okay, I think it's actually around 700 meters. Past 700 meters, your engine starts to sputter a lot. Alright, let us gather our water, fill our tanks really quick, and then we'll go and blast some apple trees together. So gathering in this game is very simple, very basic. You know, you just go around. There will be either fields you can, things like wheat fields, grain fields and whatnot. You can fly through them, cut them with your prop. We'll see that here in a bit. Things like trees, and there are trees, and I believe, no, it's just trees that you can shoot, and those will pop off, like apples, grapes, that sort of stuff, like a so. And once a tree is depleted or a field is depleted, they will, they will grow back after a couple days in game, day or two in game. So your supplies of things aren't infinite on an island, but they do come back after a while, so that's nice. Of course, pirates will also ruin plants and resources if they are given the chance. Of course, those will also grow back, but I think it might take longer. Alright, there we go. We just need 3 more. Alright, there we go.
There we go. That's 100 apples loaded in the plane.
Yep, 100.
Head back to the brewery to process
Nigel
the
can
apples.
count. We're
I'll
good.
place a marker to remind us where the hangar is located.
It's a really nice soundtrack for this game as well. I get some very serious, I don't know why, there's a an anime movie that I watched back in the day called Princess and the Pilot. This gives me some serious Princess and the Pilot vibes. That was actually a decent movie, decent story, to the point where I actually wish that there was a bit more in that universe. Like there was a bit more of a extra content for that particular universe, because it was
Back
actually
home
really
in one
interesting.
piece and a cargo hull full of apples. Let's head up to the second floor brewery. You can access it from the exit menu.
Yep. All right. So let's go over here and to the brewery and make our first alcoholic beverage.
You managed to fit a fully functional brewery on a single floor?
It's called skills, Nigel. Get used to it.
Impressive, right? We can take those apples we just collected and turn them into brews in no time at all.
Francie has mad organizational skills.
The first thing we need to do is move the apples from the plain inventory into the brewery. You can open the inventory tab to make the transfer.
Yep, alright. Let's put those
Great.
in there.
Now that the apples are available, highlighted at the top. Let's start
Alright.
by opening the Create menu.
Yep.
The large metal pot is where we will... It's important to
Alright.
note beneath the
Yep,
ingredient
yep,
maximum...
yep.
Here's where we narrow
I'm
the fun
also
part.
trying to rush through
This
this
is
right
the
now so we can
ingredient
get
wheel.
our first,
It
at least our
allows you
first
to
thing
cycle through
brewed.
all of the ingredients that have been placed in the brewery inventory.
So yeah, we're just gonna dump all the apples in here. I'm rushing to get this done so I can also throw this recording into the editor, because I have my error to get rid of.
You can add yeast by
So
holding
we
down
are
and releasing the
going
scoop
to
button.
add
The longer
yeast.
the hold, the more yeast will be added. The process of adding yeast will stop if you hit the end button, or if the alcohol content of your pot
Francie,
reaches
shut
its
up. I'm
max
sick
potential.
of trying to talk over you. So yeah, we pretty much have our max potential alcohol content for the amount of yeast that we've added. So we added in 1 scoop. That added our current alcohol content is either 5.3% for fermented or 10.6% for distilled. Contracts will determine what kind of alcohol content they want, so that might encourage you to make a different alcoholic beverage, because it can just go into the My Products tab and make something that you've made before, which I tend to do a lot. But, you know, a client might want a certain beer, and you have a good quality beer that you can give them, but it might be too high or too low in alcohol content for the contract, so you might have to go in and make a new kind. Which is, you know, easy enough to do. I haven't run into that issue yet. I've always been able to go into My Products, but I also go into like an average kind of an average thing. We'll aim for about, I think, 8-9%. Okay, 10% works. I overdid it a bit. 10.1% for
Next, we'll
fermented.
process the mixture. We can take note
So
that each
fermented
method will produce a different type of brew. In this case, our apple mixture can either
I
become a
hit the
cider
enter
or a
key and
brandy
it just
depending on which
decided to
method
go.
is taken. Presto! Our mixture has now been turned into a cider. This
Bland
particular
apple
brew turned out a
cider.
little basic, though no worries. Next time we can try crafting a brew with multiple ingredients to produce a better product.
Yeah, so you
From
can
here,
just
we
put
can
in
discard
one
or bottle the
ingredient
brew.
for any
Let's
kind.
select
It'll
bottle to
always
continue.
kind of just do a very basic one
We can
star
start to
quality.
customize our product to our liking. We can
but yeah.
change the bottle appearance and rename the product to anything we'd like. When you're happy with the design, you can press the finish button.
Okay. So, I play a lot of D&D, and I have a campaign coming up, and I am going to take this opportunity to name a lot of our alcoholic beverages, a lot of our brews, after locations in this game, depending on quality. I'll go based off of quality. So Bellbroke is a town in my homebrew realm that is it's not known for anything other than being a small fortress in the middle of nowhere, essentially. Technically it's actually smack dab in the middle of the kingdom, but you know, it's this was just kind of one of those let's see here. What is that one? Smooth and great taste? Yeah, no, we'll just do a basic label. Let's see here. What kind of bottle do we want? Yeah, we'll do that bottle. And we'll just do a basic cork. There we go. So if green, we'll go for a different tint on the bottle. So yeah, you can customize your beverage, your bottles pretty extensively. You can even go as far as to import your own label design, which is also really cool. And the inverse of that, well, not the inverse, but the other thing you can do is you can actually also import aircraft roundels to put on your plane, which is cool.
Should a client request a branded brew, there's one last step. Seeing as we have no client contracts requesting cider, we can stock the cider at our own bar.
Yeah, so let's go up to our bar. Oh my god.
There used to be a bunch of old antiques collecting dust up here. It may not...
One that's stocked full with our own brew...
We'll have to start with a basic tarnished floor plan for the time being. This is the fame meter.
In that case, we...
Sure. With all the chairs and antiques, let's start by choosing a theme for our bar. You can do so by opening the design panel.
Yep. Alright, bar design. We can do a classic theme, Art Deco, Victorian, and all of these will do different bonuses to the amount of certain products that we sell. I'll probably, I think I did the Forge in my personal playthrough. I'm not going to do it this time. I actually don't know what I want. Noir might be interesting. Although the Art Deco might also be cool. It doesn't do great for a cider. Alternatively, I can just do the let's do the classic.
Next, let's think of a good name for the bar. Maybe a name that portrays an establishment of sophistication and class.
Sophistication and class. That doesn't sound anything like what I would do.
Type the name into the text box and press enter when you're done.
We are going to name this the Leaky Tavern, because that is a known location in our...
That's an interesting choice. It's
a very interesting
Fortunately, we can always change it
choice,
later.
Francie. We
From this menu, you can adjust the cosmetics
greatest
of our bar
level
and
of
upgrade the theme.
creativity my brain
Upgrading
can
will
come
help
up
us gain
with.
fame a bit. Now with the bar all set up, we'll want to stock our cider, so it can
Put
be
our
slowly there. We're now open for business.
cider in there.
Be sure to keep the bar stocked with brews that suit. We should also get in.
Right. It looks like we're all set and ready to finally start this. Let's get out there and explore. Make connections, collect ingredients, and grow our brewing
enterprise. I was gonna say, I would have said empire, but hey. But anyways, that's the tutorial. Bar, brewing, hangar, exploring. Yeah, it's all.
It looks like we have our first customer already. I suppose the word gets around fast in these sleepy places. If you want to talk to them, do so by clicking the gossip menu.
Yeah, I'll talk to them later. For now, we're gonna exit the hangar so it saves.
Now, with all the technical information out of the way, I might suggest we visit the local bar. We could start with a bar called... I'll put down a marker.
Yeah, sure. I just want to get the game saved. So anyways, we're gonna wrap it up there now that the English. Now that the tutorial is done, yeah. So now that we're done with the tutorial, we're gonna wrap it up there because I do have places to be. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna edit the video, so my apologies for my blunder earlier. So you're going to be seeing that cutscene twice, because I don't have time to edit. So anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and a comment. If you want to see more, do that too. And if you haven't already and don't want to miss any of our future content, please hit that subscribe button. Helps out our channel a lot. We have been gaining a lot of subscribers recently. So if you guys are also interested in interacting with us or other members of our community, down in the description there will be a link to our public Discord server. You can pop on over there and hang out with us. On top of that, guys, there was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, an update on our Helldivers content that I meant to say earlier in the video, but I was an idiot and didn't, so I probably might end up answering that in the comment section. Helldivers, we had a bit of an issue with, there was a bit of a server issue when we went to record Thursday, so we didn't have the footage. Friday, we got the footage, a decent amount of footage, but I pretty much didn't have time to edit it all together. I tried to do that kind of stuff when, earlier in the day, but, you know, it's just like, by the time the day was out, I just didn't have enough time to edit. I'll be aiming to edit the next episode of Deathcore of Creek tonight, so it is ready for Sunday or Monday, but there's also a major operation going on that, for those who don't play the game or haven't been keeping up with it recently, we're all very excited for what is transpiring in the game right now. So Helldivers is a bit delayed, but I'm hoping to make a better video. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that I manage to slap something together that's actually good. But that aside, I hope you all enjoyed. We will certainly be playing more Brew Barons because I really enjoy this game. And, you know, I like putting things on the channel that I enjoy playing. And, you know, I hope to see you all there. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.